Hello everybody, this is Molly, and this is crazy. Okay, I'm going to show y'all, I'm going to try to do a couple of videos, I'm saying a couple, could be more than that, of some hauls I've done recently. And yes, I'm a member of Scrapbooks Anonymous and usually try to make it to the reading meetings, but unfortunately I have, do some online shopping before I go, so I seem to always run late to the meetings. But anyway, Anna Griffin sent emails out to her people who are on her blog spot that she was having a sale. The sale was so busy that her blog spot actually crashed. The website actually crashed. So, there was all kind of emails flying back and forth in blog, Facebook pages and notices about how hard it was to get into the sale and all. So I actually got in, and I think that rush to, oh my God, I won something. I actually got in, made me buy even more than I would. But then having said that, y'all who know I'm an Anna Griffin nut know that I probably didn't buy as much as I could if I'd gotten there earlier. Anyway, enough rambling. Let me show you what I got, and then I'm going to show you a little project that this inspired me to do. And I'm not going to show you everything I got because it is officially too much. I'm into the obsessive portion of my day here, so I'm not going to show you everything. But what I am going to show you, the prices were great to me. Of course, I buy Anna Griffin on HSN for $15 each kit. I picked up 3 or 4 different kits, and what you got was the die cuts, the 3D sticker embellishments, and then the wording and all that goes with it. And this one right here is, let me see if I can recognize which one. I think this is is this Haven? I'm not sure. It could be the Haven group. And it's just beautiful. $15 for that whole collection. And then this one was the, let's see what it was. It was the, hold on, the Fleur Rouge collection, which I had been admiring and had never bought. And again, for $15 you got the whole, see, it's 2 set of 3D stickers, the die cuts, the die cut words, and then all the paper that goes with it. And the fun part about the paper is each one of the papers is double-sided. See, it's like a beautiful French or early Americana blues and golds and reds. And then in this collection there was also some, you probably can't see that, but some embossed papers and some flocked papers and also, oh my God, it was so gorgeous. Okay, so let me fly through here. I got a fall collection and I got a Christmas collection. Let me put these for a side because this is what I want to show you, the project share that I'm doing that inspired me. Okay, and then what you see back there, let me see if I can grab them real quick without exposing y'all to something you don't need to see. Whoop, dropped it. Okay, this little vacation album is one of her pre-made albums I normally don't buy, but it was on sale for $10. And what you get is, see how the pages are already made? They already have the embellishments. Can you see that it's got real ribbon, real 3D things, glued to it and all. And then what I'll do, and they're, the way I like pages is one big picture. So for $10, and then you get the extra embellishments to go with it and things. So this was a vacation one, and the one you see back there was a vacation one. And so there was plenty of extra papers and embellishments and all. And while they say vacation, Anna Griffin's idea of vacation is not the typical American, bright summer colors and all. You can see it's some pretty rich blues and golds and things like that I love. Back there is some pre-made wedding pages. They are so pretty. Now, let me see if I can show you this real quickly. Again, those were, I think, $10 each. And then these were, again, this was, I think, $15. And what you got was all the extra mats, the wording, the die cut borders. I'm sorry if I'm boring y'all. Please hang in for the little project share. I think you'll like it. So these pages are flat pages, but you get the stickers and things, and of course I have enough die cuts, and you see they're front and back, so you can really doll up those pages and all. And I thought it was just going to make a real quick little wedding album. One of the kits I bought, here's another album kit I bought, which is right up my alley, $15, yum. And these are flock papers. Okay, now, these I bought, and while I like what's in them, more importantly, I like that box. So this is the project here I'm going to show you. These happen to be, let me see, bring them up close to where I can see them, sentiment stickers. So they're meant to go on her cards and things, and you can see they're just filled with 3D embellishments that are the stickers that you just slap on the top of a card and go. But I want you to look at this box. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, and then the other box I bought from her was birds and butterflies. And it is just that, birds and butterflies. So that was the haul. And then, what was I thinking when I bought all that stuff? Oh, and she did send in some, she threw in some little gifts or something, woo-woo, for shopping with her. And all. But now I want to show you how I took this box, had to make myself a prototype, and I want to show you how I did it. So, let's go see. Okay, hang in. Okay, let's see if I can do this from this position. I'm going to have to get myself a better setup if I'm going to do these tutorials. But I was so excited about this, I wanted to share it with you. I'm reaching around my camera now. Now what you got here, let me show you the book again. Okay, this is what we're making. Now you'll note this is just paper. It is just a cardstock paper that she's printed. I added that piece of chipboard in the spine. I just covered a piece of chipboard and stuck it in the spine to see if that would hold it up straighter, because when I originally got it, this was kind of smushed and all. But I was thinking if I could make this would make great little brag books or just photo album holders or something like that. Organizational pieces or something. I just thought that was a good idea. So I said, let's see if we can do this. So what I did, because when I measured this holds it's a little taller than 7, maybe 7.5 by 5. It's 1.5 inches deep, so that means half of 1.5 inches is 3/4 inches and 3/4 inches. So I cut mine down a little bit shorter just because, but I made the rest of the dimensions the same, and like it. But what happened is if you measure 5, 10, 11.5, 12.5, 13. Whoop, you're already past 12, 13. And then 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You're up to about 19 or 20 inches of paper that you would need if it was one continuous piece, which hers is, but she's a printer. She can do that. So what I did to do it was I took 2 sheets of paper. Let me see if I can turn this over. If you can see, this is one print and this is another. This is where I put the spine here. So I've taken the 2 sheets of paper, and what I figured out is I measured it. I left this one as long as I could leave it. Let me see if I'm lying to you here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this one's 12 inches. So this one I used as long as I could leave it, was 12 inches. And I overlapped this just enough, to leave a nice little 1-inch border. And then this piece I cut down, so I didn't need the full 12 inches of it, because my overlap is to here, if that makes sense. So now what I've done is, so I took the 12 inches of paper, and I glued one little piece to where it was, just underneath there. Then I measured 1 inch from this edge, 1 inch, and I scored it. Then I measured 1.5 inches here, and I scored it. Then I came over here and I measured my 5 inches, and I scored it. And I measured a 3/4 of an inch, and I scored it. And this was what was left. So 1 inch, 1.5 inches from there, 5 inches from there, 3/4 inches between here, and then that was what was remaining. So then this, what I did was from the fold, I measured 5 inches, scored it, measured 3/4 of an inch, scored it, and then I measured this, just the same distance I had here, and cut my image. Okay, so now that gave me the length and the, what would you call that, vertical score lines. So then what I did, y'all may have actually seen these before, and this is old news, but for me this was like, aha, I figured this out. I was so proud. Okay, so what I did was I figured out that I wanted this inside piece, thinking I would be using 4x6 pictures, and I've got 5 inches here, so I made mine 7 here instead of 7.5. I made mine 7. However, the next one I might actually make it longer so that the cards I put inside have a little bit more room for journaling or bigger pictures or something like that. But for now, I just, if you know, a 4-inch picture with an extra inch makes 5, so instead of 6, I made it 7. So what I did was I figured out 7, and I figured I was going to need the 3/4 inch fold and then a little flap to glue down. So this is 3/4 plus a 1/2 inch, 3/4 plus a 1/2 inch. So 3/4 and 3/4 is an inch and a half, plus an inch is 2.5 inches. So I made it 7 this way, plus an inch and a half, 2.5 inches, plus 2.5 inches. So I cut my paper 9.5 inches wide. Okay, are you with me? Sorry about that. So to give myself the 3/4 inch here, 1/2 inch here, 3/4 inch there, 1/2 inch there, that adds inch and a half, 2.5. That adds 2.5 inches. So 7 plus 2.5 gave me the 9.5. So in other words, if you had wanted to make this, as long as you leave yourself 2.5 inches, if you're only making your book an inch and a half thick, which is pretty thick, you can make your book taller. Just remember, it's like 12 inches minus 2.5 inches, so you could make it 9.5 inches tall if you wanted to, or 8 inches tall, or whatever. Just remember, this is, you need a 3/4 inch here and a 1/2 inch to fold there. Okay, so I ran my score lines there. I did a score line, you know, from the center mark. I figured out where my 7 inches was going to be, and I made a score line the whole way. You know, remember, this paper is solid right here. So I made my line all the way across there. Then I came back and I made a horizontal score line at 3/4 inches from there. Then I measured from there and cut off to where it was just that, you know, we're to the edge of the paper now. And again, I did the same thing on the top. Gosh, I hope this is not too confusing. I could cut it out on white paper if you'd like me to. So along the top, I made my, from this, you know, I measured from the center to where I would get the 7 inches, made a score line, and then I made a score line up 3/4 from there. And then of course I was to the edge of the paper. So what I did here, if you can see, I came back and you can see where my score lines were. I cut off from this, can you see where right there, that first seam, which will turn in? I cut right there. I cut right there. And then I cut off that and that extra up to the 7 inches, leaving these. Did the same thing on the top. And what happens is when you fold this in now, you can see you have your flap there, your flaps there, and you have a nice closed book. So you have your flap there, your flap there. Let me see if I can do that. Boy, that's tricky dicky, looky there. Okay, so if you can imagine that glued in place, that gives you the nice book there. Okay, so I'm going to take, you see how that is? Okay, so I'm going to take just a minute and see how this one would fold in just like a box top. This one would fold in just like a box top. So if you don't mind, I'm going to take just a few minutes. I'm going to tape this puppy down, and I'll be right back. Hold on. I'm going to turn it towards you. Ooh, that's going to be tricky. Okay, I'm going to go ahead on this incredibly messy desk, and I'm going to try, oh wait, my glasses are on my head. Hold on just a second. Okay, I'm going to put some tape on this flap. Put some tape on this flap. Now this particular paper that I'm using was the, Pink Paisley Butterfly Gardens or something, I think it was called. Now, I have $5,000 worth of Anna Griffin paper I just bought, but God forbid I should use that. Crazy that I am. Let me take my little flap out, because I'm nuts as a fruitcake. But anyway, you know what? Instead of using tape there, let me put that piece there and then see. Okay, so I've got this laid out flat. So I decided, now remember I've got my spine. I've already glued in there. So, and then of course that's when I turned the thing over and I attached, you know, I took a piece of chipboard. Let me see if I have the scraps of it. And I just had a piece of chipboard, covered it with some pretty paper, and stuck it down there so I'd have a firmer handle on it. Okay, this paper was a little plain, so I used a few little rub-ons from the line I had. You know, I mean, this was, again, the Pink Paisley line. And so I just used a couple of rub-ons to add some. Because the thing was, I wanted the book binding, the center pretty, like they had on the box. Anyway, so I used these rub-ons there. And then, what I decided I better do before I put my box too much together is I'm going to go ahead, I cut myself a little piece to go in the middle here. Covered myself some little ta-ta-tas, you know, little whatever do you want to call those. Cover myself some little stuff, and I'm thinking I better glue those on before I go too much further putting my box together, you think? What do you think? Do it now, do it later. Do it now, do it later. Tough question. If my glue works, we'll do it now. If my glue doesn't work, we'll do it later. Okay. So I got that. We're going to put that under there. Okay, we're going to take that. Put little dots of glue. I could have run it through my Siron machine. Ooh, that looks dangerous, doesn't it? Okay, let's act like that's working. Gonna put that back there. Okay. Glue that down, and then I'm gonna use some pop dots on that. Let me just roll back to my little pop dot heaven. Hold on, hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. We'll put me some pop dots. Some pop dots. Okay, so now I'm going to put that on there. Oh, good Lord, I'm going to drop it and throw it and do it. Okay, so that's kind of the front of my book. I got some flowers here I misted. Got some flowers. These, of course, are the old red collections, and all I did was I took the, you might recognize that peach pack, and I just took some Lindy stamp game and did them. Okay, now, here's the challenge. Let's see if by any miracle, put my little pen back in there. I used to have trouble all the time with my ink drying. I just found I stick a pen in there and it works fine. Okay, so now I'm going to take this. Let's see if I can get this to work. If not, you will not see this film. So if you're seeing this film, it means I got it to work. Okay, so we're going to bend that, bend that over. One side done. Does it feel like the other side got done almost? Oh my God, this may actually work. Wait a minute, that sounds a little crooked. Let me get it straight. Okay, for all intents and we're going to act like that's straight. If you will, if anybody asks you, just act like it's straight. Okay, you see my flaps are on the inside, so it looks like a little box. Not the neatest in the world, but if I was not trying to do it on camera, it might be a little neater. Okay, I've got to turn it toward me, sorry. Okay, there's that. Let me put a little flappy duty in. Put a little flappy duty in. I'm doing it where I can see, sorry, but I'm trying to get it in there underneath that flap. There you go. And I'm using tape, but you probably would want to go back and do that. Oh my God, it worked. Okay, so now you can see I've got the bases from a box. I don't have it perfectly straight. If I was not playing on camera, I would have taken the time to make sure that was straight. Okay, so there's my little box. Nice, sturdy wood chipboard there. The weight of that keeps it together. Isn't that precious? Okay, so what I've done here, and y'all might want to connect y'all's. You know, do what you want, make it or don't. I cut myself some, you know, pieces to go in there. Now, hope these aren't too big. And then what I've done was, you can see I've just decorated. See, there's one. Isn't that cute? This little postcard comes out. Pretty pretty. So, like when I'm saying like a brag book, okay, this one I just put, you know, made myself a chipboard piece there. Took one of the pieces from the line. Made a little book. Isn't that sweet? Imagine just a little fairy tale girl in there. Chrissy, I'm thinking of you. Made myself a little trifold book. And what I did on that one is I folded it, I put where the picture will cover that ribbon. See, it comes out there, and then it ties. And you know how people are going to not want to tie that back, and neither do I. What do they say, rabbit ear, rabbit ear? Oop, anyway, act like I tied that. Well, let me go ahead and take the time now. I'm not going to, good Lord, how old am I? I'll be able to tie a bow, huh? Okay, so a tie a bow, and that sticks back in there. That's a chipboard piece. So these are just loose pieces. And see, this one I just took a pretty piece of the paper, made a little pocket. Oh my gosh, isn't that cute? Some little buttons, pretty little double-sided ribbon, little, you know, acetate not butterfly, dragonfly. What's this one? Another piece of the torn paper, something slips underneath there. This was just a card I glued on the edge, put some of that, used a little Griffin sticky uppy thingy. Some pretty satin ribbon there to slip a picture underneath there. Another chipboard piece. So these aren't real fancy, but I don't know what pictures I'm going to use yet. Isn't that pretty? This was these right here, and you're going to see another one of them in there in a minute. I had gone to Hobby Lobby. I think this is actually the first thing I've ever paid for a regular price at Hobby Lobby. I got a big old bunch of stuff on sale there, but I bought these 2 kits of gemstones. I love them. Aren't they pretty? I don't know if you can see them. And that's one of them right there. They're like the glitz gemstones. There's one of Monique's pretty pieces of metal, a sticker from the line. This was some old American Crafts. You'll help me here. Lace, thank you. Okay, here's another one of those gemstones I'm talking about. This is some really old bias tape I had that had musical print. This is another one of Monique's pieces, and I just stuck that gemstone in the middle. Isn't that pretty? Weighs about 1,000 pounds. Okay, here's some lace I kind of ombre dyed because, you know, got a whole ombre thing going on there. A couple of pretty flowers. So you can see I didn't put a lot on them, just a little bit. This lifts up, some beautiful thing, because I have no idea what I'm doing. So we're just going to kind of split the stack in half. And we're going to stick half of them in there. And we're going to stick half of them in there. And you can see all the delicate maneuvering I'm doing, really taking my time here. And we close it up, and we have a pretty little keepsake book. Oh, wait, let me turn to you. We have a pretty little keepsake book. Isn't that cute? And when you open it up, what will happen is once these get fuller, they'll take up the space and not slide out. But I was anxious to get to show you all this, so I haven't quite finished the embellishment or put my pictures on it. But the other thing I haven't done is, of course, I'm going to use a little magnet. You know, just a little magnet there. They used a little piece of Velcro. But I thought it was a cute little idea. If y'all have any other questions or would like me to show y'all the measurement, I'm hiding my Band-Aid, or would like me to show you the measurement on white paper or anything, just let me know. Thank y'all so much for watching. And again, I hope to see y'all all at the next meeting of Scrapbookers Anonymous. Help, help. I'm buying and I can't seem to stop. Okay, y'all have fun. Bye-bye.